Hey guys, and welcome back to Maya's Communication Corner, episode 2. Thank you guys for coming back, and I'm so excited for this episode because I am joined here by Josh Koshi or Koshi.
It's Koshi.
Koshi. I'm here with Josh Koshi. Josh Koshi is a notable clothing brand owner whose designs do not follow trends; they create them. Clock it. Together, we're going to unpack what it really means to be a creative entrepreneur in a world that often overlooks the work behind the art. And you already know we're going to have a fun little game at the end, but stay tuned for that. Anyways, now I'm going to give it to you and let you introduce yourself. And yeah.
I mean, that was a pretty good introduction, I can't lie.
Actually?
But yeah, I'm Josh Koshi. I'm a third-year student at Carleton.
Oh, really?
I'm a transfer student, but like third year.
Where?
Concordia. I did my first 2 years at Concordia.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna get into the Josh lore, guys. No, I'm in that.
There's a lot of Josh lore. But yeah, third year commerce student.
Really?
Yeah. Founder of Neo Affluent. Founder of Photographer Koshi. I guess if you count that as a thing.
Yes, we're gonna get into that too. Don't worry.
Anything else? Christian.
Clock
I know
it.
that's a pretty big one.
Yes.
And yeah, that's pretty much me.
Okay, yeah. So I did have a question here. What was your major? We already got that. He's in commerce. Yeah.
Right.
Talk to me about the transfer if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we start, I would like to say a big thank you to our sponsor, Third Space. Third Space is a social network app that helps bring college students together in real time. It is out exclusively at Carleton University right now, so if you're a Carleton student, head on to the App Store and download it right now. For Android users, they're working on bringing the app to you very soon, so hold on tight. That's all for me. Go to the App Store and download Third Space and start sharing experiences in real time. Bye!
So yeah, I used to live here from in Ottawa, yeah. Grades 10 to 12. And then
Where were you before that?
Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, born and raised there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not ethnically like from Dubai. Yeah, this is like there's a lot of just like
first minute I got you transferred to Carleton from Concordia.
Right.
From Dubai, not
Right.
born not from Dubai, but from Dubai.
Right. Like I was born there, but like my parents aren't like ethnic.
So what are you ethnically?
That's for you to guess. No one. I don't give the answer out. It always
Really?
I give people like 1, 2, 3 chances to guess it, and if they get it, they get it. But very few people have actually gotten it.
Okay. Can you give me like a hint?
No.
Oh.
If I give you a hint, like it'll be obvious.
First. Okay.
You had to guess just 3 because we're on a time budget. So like
no, we are.
So 3.
All right,
Just say 3 countries.
I'm gonna go Egypt.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Morocco.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go. Where am I gonna go, guys? Egypt, Morocco. I don't know. I'm just gonna go Egypt and Morocco.
Okay, well, both those are wrong. I get that a lot though. I do look very North African. I am Indian. It's the curly hair. It throws everyone off.
He's Indian.
I'm South Indian. No, but the thing is, like, people here don't know what South Indians look like. You guys are very used to like North Indians. You know what I mean? So the curls come out, everyone is confused.
So there are a lot of like curly headed South
Oh yeah.
Really?
This is very common. Like if I go back to India, they're like, oh yeah, you're from this part of India. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. Shout out South India.
Type. Shout out Kerala, man.
Wow. Okay. So where were we? Okay, now we're in Ottawa, grade 10 to 12. Okay.
Yes. Then I go to Concordia for my first 2 years of uni. Concordia is a great school in terms of business schools. Like if anyone's trying to go there, great business school.
Shout out Concordia.
But me personally, like outside of school, like my schedule was literally go to class, go home. That was it. And I just did not feel like fulfilled.
Yeah.
In any other aspect of my life in terms of university life, because a lot of people go to university to have like a holistic experience.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna be in a place in your life where so many different people are like in the same room as you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just didn't. I wasn't feeling the outside of academics. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, like it wasn't really like your space. So you just didn't feel like it
exactly.
Was right. That's
exactly. Fair. I'm very grateful for the time I spent there. Like I definitely grew a lot as a person, but it was had to come back home, and yeah.
And you came to Carleton, and were you in commerce at Concordia too?
I was, yeah.
Okay. So commerce is your thing.
That's my thing.
Okay, period. Okay, what do you want to do with that? Do you want to talk about that?
To be honest, I don't even know for right now. Like, obviously, I have my businesses, which, you know, God willing, if they blow up, and, you know, I can take it full time. But, you know, having a business degree is a solid degree to have. You know, there's a lot of flexibility. So I'm really
to have that in your back pocket. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's my parents, which I was surprised by, that they were like okay with me doing like fashion and stuff. They were just like, as long as you keep doing university, like you should have like a good like safety net. So and honestly, I don't mind a 9 to 5. Everyone's talking about, oh, I hate 9 to 5s.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, guys.
Like, actually, like, it's okay. Like, if someone has to work a 9 to 5. Not everyone's gonna be a CEO.
On the topic of 9 to 5, I feel like a lot of young people would benefit from like having a consistent 9 to 5, because it'll teach you
stability.
Work ethic. Exactly, it'll teach you stability, structure, like
exactly.
You know,
it's not every day go. Like, sometimes you just clock in, clock out.
Exactly. Wow, you really answered like all the questions I had here already.
Damn.
That's crazy. Okay, period. Any fun facts before we get into
facts? I mean, what do you call a fun fact, really?
I feel like we already got there. Like,
a lot of my
he's South Indian. That was a fun fact.
Yeah, my icebreakers, I use all of them within the first minute. I have 2 sisters. I guess that's a
really?
fun fact.
Are you like the youngest?
I am. Yeah.
Really, same.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are those siblings?
2 older sisters as well. Oldest is 2000, then 2002, and then 2005.
Damn. Oh, so you guys are close then in terms of age.
Yeah, pretty.
I got 93, 97, 04.
For some reason, I was like 93 years old. I'm like, wait, no.
I mean, she's 31, 32, turning 32.
Period. Shout out to Josh's sisters. Okay, now we're going to talk about your brand, because I think we got to know you well enough. Yeah. So tell the people what your brand is real quick. Shout your brand out.
Okay, my brand is called Neo Affluent. It's like Christian streetwear. I mean, the goal is not for it to be streetwear for the rest of its like life, but right now it's just streetwear. Yeah, you know, like the designs are based on like the beliefs I grew up with and still practice to this day. And I just wanted to make Christian clothing that wasn't corny, because I feel like a lot of brands, like, no shade to anybody, actually, like it's all love.
Do your thing.
But I just feel like if you're not Christian, you wouldn't wear these designs. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, I call it punch it in your face Christianity. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, wow, you know.
I like
but that. I wanted designs where, you know, anyone could wear it, but it still like ties back to like
your
the
roots and your values, and
exactly.
I
you
like
know.
That. Okay. When did you guys launch? And tell the people where we can purchase, if you know, if we're still running that, and then where we can find the brand, and
For sure. The brand launched in August 2023.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's fairly new, all things considered. You can find us on IG at Neo Affluent. You can find us on TikTok at Neo Affluent. Our website, neoaffluent.com. I think we got like
below.
It's gonna be the, you know, link in description, link in
bio. Comment down below if you're gonna buy these. Yay!
I think we have a couple hoodies left from like one of our first few drops, but right now we're just working on our next drop. So
stay tuned, y'all.
It's gonna be a banger still.
Period. Okay, I have some questions that I feel like I've never really heard anybody talk about. So,
sure.
What is a part of the design process that you wish people appreciated more or knew about? Like the behind the scenes work that really went into creating and curating this brand, or like a certain piece, or like the brand as a whole, you know?
I think a lot of people, they just think I just like come up with the idea, which to a certain degree I do. Like, obviously all my ideas,
because it does represent like what you believe in and your own like truths and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, I also spend like a lot of time in prayer before I you know, do any design.
We need we need more men who are tied to their beliefs and in touch with God. Build your relationship, because I don't know what's going on there with the men these days, but learn from Josh. Take from Josh, please.
Okay. Like, that's not
no
too
shade.
much now. Not too much.
No shade, but like,
hey
with
man,
love.
Everyone's just trying their best, you know. So
they are.
We give each other grace.
Amen.
But yeah, I spend a lot of time in prayer before I do my designs or before I read the word, because I'm like, I don't want to make a design that misrepresents Christianity. You know what I mean? I don't want to make a design that I think looks cool, but like, if God saw it, he'd be like, yo, what is this? Like, what are you
It's,
telling
like,
what are you telling the
aligned
people?
with
You know what I mean?
God's vision for you and also your vision for the
Exactly.
brand. Yes.
Like I see neo affluent as just like a vessel for God. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was gonna also ask you, can you break down the meaning of the name for
Right. This is a very common question actually. No one knows what it means, but it actually has nothing to do with Christianity, like at
Really?
all.
What?
Basically, in like 2019 slash like during the pandemic, I had been doing like I've always been into like design and fashion and all this kind of stuff, and so I was just doing designs for a random clothing brand I wanted to start. And at the time, I was reading a lot of books about wealth inequality, so I was doing designs based on that. And I had this one design where it was talking about like, let's say you make $1 billion today. People who have been having $1 billion, like generational wealth, will look down on you, being like, "Oh, you're just new money. You're not real money. You're new money."
Yeah.
Right. So then I was like, "Oh, new money kind of sounds like it has a nice ring to it, but I want to spice it up." So I was like, "Okay, what's a different way of saying new? Neo. What's a different way of saying money? Affluent." I was like, neo affluent. And then I started getting closer to my faith, where I was like, I started getting closer to my faith, and I was like, wait, maybe my fashion can be my ministry. So I was like, let me keep the name though, because it's hard.
My fashion can be my ministry. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Right.
Wow. Okay, no, I love that though. Yeah, like wow. Yeah, back to the design process.
Yeah, like I said, like I was talking to one of my friends, and he's like, because I was feeling kind of down about the whole like brand at one point, and he was like, I know God wears neo affluent. And I was like, damn, like I was like picturing like Jesus wearing like the neo hoodie, and I was like,
oh, I love that.
That's so sick. But yeah, it made me strive more and more to like, I want the designs to be actually reflective of what God has in mind, and like what God has like been preaching to us, teaching us like through His Word, through His, you know, His Son and everything. So
I love that.
That's definitely one of the biggest things.
Period. I was like, wow, like that was perfect. I love that.
I appreciate that.
Okay, what is one thing you look for when choosing models, photographers, or other creatives to work with in terms of, it could be in line with your brand or just like in general with projects you do?
I think when it comes to models, like for the longest time, I would just use people I knew, like my friends, because I don't have to pay you.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, but you know, all my models get free neo until we're big enough to like actually pay you. But yeah, like in terms of models, like I just want someone who just has a good vibe. To be honest, like obviously, like the aesthetics of it all matter. Yeah. But honestly, I think anyone. The whole point is like anyone can wear neo, so anyone can model neo. It just matters about your vibe. Like if you have a good work ethic, if you're cool to work with, like you could be like the 10 out of 10 face card does not decline, like bad, right? But if you are horrible to work with, I don't want to work with you. Exactly. Like I'm so sorry. Like if you're gonna be late to the shoot, like if you're gonna be late to the shoot, if you're not gonna take things serious, if you're gonna be on your phone the whole time, you know, vlogging the whole experience, but you're not actually doing the shoot, like you can actually, the door is there. You know what I mean? So it's really just about like the vibe or just like the aesthetics of the personal, like the shoot specifically. It doesn't necessarily have to be with like how the person looks. Yeah,
because like you'd want a very smooth shoot. Like, you know, nobody wants all those distractions, inconveniences, all that stuff. You know, like let's just get in here, do what we need to do, and get out.
Exactly.
I feel like that's fair.
In terms of creatives, like for the longest time, like even before I started Photography, I was like, okay, I don't have money to pay photographers, but a lot of my friends are photographers. Like it's actually so crazy that once I moved from Montreal, which is very known as an artistic city, moving to Ottawa, that's where I met like all of my creative friends.
Not gonna lie, me too. Because I'm from Toronto. When I came here, I met Femi. I'm meeting you. I'm meeting so many different creatives that I never would have like imagined existed in Ottawa. Like my perception of Ottawa is not what it is today. Shout out Ottawa creatives, because you guys have it on lock, like seriously.
And y'all put in work. Like, because one thing about Montreal and Toronto is like, it's like everybody's creative, you know what I mean? So it's very hard for you to stand out. So when you're in a space like Ottawa where like 90% of the population works for the government, like if you're being creative, like you're already standing out. And then because you want to stand out on a national scale, you're really putting in work. Like a lot of my friends have clothing brands, a lot of my friends have photography businesses, a lot of my friends are just super duper creative. Like can I name drop? Or?
Oh, 100%. Shout everybody out.
Kasai's Flash Party, Desmond Anuku, Ramsey Salem, I think that's his last name. He owns a brand called Cursive World, super sick.
Tap in, y'all.
Musa, shout out my dog Musa, he's a super sick artist. Like, I'm actually trying to buy a painting, but he just refuses to sell to me for some reason. I think it might be a race issue, I can't lie.
So I will buy. Come.
Right. But yeah, like, a lot of my friends are like photographers, videographers. Like, it's so crazy. My whole like scene is creative. So when it comes to like circling back, like when it comes to Neo, like I had so many options in terms of in terms of creatives I could work with, but I also wanted to like build my own skills so that like off the jump, like I want to like build a brand by myself to an extent. Obviously, no one does anything so by themselves. Everyone has like a community.
You grow to learn that in this industry. Like, you can't do it alone.
You can't. Like, it actually takes a village.
It takes a village. It takes a community. It takes a family. Guys.
Literally. So I'm very grateful for the people who have supported me, but I also wanted to like build my own skills, which I feel like definitely helped when I started Photography. Like, I had my own, like when brands are asking me like, oh, can you do a photo shoot? I'm like, yeah, I can, because I did the exact same thing.
Exactly.
But choosing creatives, like most of the time I just choose myself, because if you want done something right, you do it yourself. Because I'm like, I have a vision in my head, right? I have a vision in my head.
Josh, like, it's just wow, line after line.
What can I say, man? Like, it's
that guy.
I'm just that guy. But a lot of the vision, like the idea I have in my head, like there are very few people who like really get what I'm trying to say. That's why I'll always like tap in with the same people if they're free, because
your visions align. Like you guys know.
I just love it when creative people like align their vision. You know what I mean? The worst thing that can happen is if a creative director talks to a creative and they just don't get it, and you're just like going so off. It's like you make that. I'll help you make that, but I don't think you're gonna help me make. That's okay though, but it's not. It's not. Not quite. That's okay. Moving on. What is a project or piece that you're especially proud of, and what makes it stand out for you? I'm kind of proud of everything I put out, because it just shows like how far I've come from when I started. You know what I mean? Like my first design for Neo was a black hoodie that says "Pray without ceasing, rejoice always," and it looks like an infinity logo. Ooh. Damn, that was what a banger! What a banger to start with. Like, honestly, in terms of Neo, I think my favorite piece would be. It's not my favorite design, because I feel like I've designed better, but I just love that hoodie. It's my blue Matthew 6:26 hoodie. But yeah, I probably should have worn something Neo, but I was like, let me look fly for the podcast. Let me tell you guys, they're going to watch this and they're going to see it pop up. Oh, okay, word. Oh, you're like, you're okay. My bad. We'll Mine's an editor. I forgot. We'll fix it in post. Right. Okay, that's my favorite line. But I think those, in terms of Neo, my first two hoodies are like, I'm super proud of them, because I'm like, those are actually my babies. You know what I mean? No, real. Everything else, like, you like, those are like my first kids. Now I'm dealing with the middle children. Shout out to all my middle children, because like no one cared about you. You know what I mean? Shout out to like we all love you, but like sometimes we forgot about you for real. If you know, forgot in the car type. You know what I mean? No chicken nuggets. In the car is crazy. In the car, bro. Like crazy. I'm not gonna air out my sister, but like some crazy stuff happened to my sister, who is the middle child. No, same. But I love you so much. Like same. Love you. Like, shout out to our sisters. Yeah. Period. But yeah, in terms of Neo, I feel like my two hoodies were like my favorite, because I wear them the most as well. In terms of Photography, like. Yeah, I was gonna ask him, like, in terms of creative project, like, what is something you're most proud of? Denim shirt, anyone? Because honestly, like I said, like I love every project I put out, because I'm like, damn, like I'm just getting better and better and better by the day. Actually, by every click of the camera. Literally. I would say. Can I go on my Instagram to see what I've done? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Very chill vibes. All right. I also feel like. When it comes to being a creative, like, your circle, but every day, every shoot, you're gonna meet someone new, and then from there you meet someone new, and when you keep meeting these new people, like, you learn more things from them, you learn different styles, you learn like your styles blend, and it's just etc. I feel like it's a really cool thing, because it's not a static industry at all. Things always grow, things always change, evolve, and I find that very cool. Okay, I think I have like 3 that I'm really proud of. My most recent one, which was the Denim Movement shoe with Sarah and Shots by M.
Period.
Shout out to those guys.
Exactly.
That, like, when I got home, the thing is, after a shoot, I get into like a editing trance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna sleep until I'm done editing. So when I'm looking at these pictures, I was like, oh my god, I'm too good. Like, I'm actually too good. Like, actually, I feel bad for the competition. You know what I mean? Because you can't compete. Like, I'm so sorry.
Can't compete.
Choose photography or choose wrong. You know what I mean?
Like, you can't.
But you know, by the grace of God, like, He gave me those skills.
And He just keep making you better. Like, you know.
Amen. Every day I thank God.
Exactly.
Allow me to wake up. So
that gratitude, that like faith, that trust in Him, that your skills are gonna get better and you're gonna learn more. Like, that's really all you need. And then once you do your thing, it's gonna show. The proof's in the pudding, y'all. Literally.
Right. So yeah, the Denim Movement shoe, super sick. I would say also my shoe with the Carlton Fashion Club, the back to school shoe.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That
Shout out
super
the
sick.
Carlton Fashion Club.
Shout out Carlton Fashion Club.
Yeah, and that shoot was very tough.
Yeah, like I think like one of my favorite shoots. Like, special shout out to Nue, like you know, link in description of his IG. That guy's a creative genius. Like imagine if Kanye wasn't problematic. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
Like, that's Nue. Like, I actually want to be. I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be Nue when I'm older. Like. He's actually my inspiration.
Yeah, I was even gonna ask him, like, what are your inspirations or motivations? But I guess we figured it out.
I mean, that's one of them. We'll definitely get to that question as well, because I definitely have a few to talk about.
Wow.
I'd say those two, and then my shoot that I did. It was a very informal shoot. It was more like, this is the stage of Photography where I was just posting pictures I took on my digital.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like a photographer. I went to. Do you know Mustafa the poet?
The name is familiar, but
he's like he's kind of like a spoken word artist / singer.
Mm-hmm.
He was having a listening party for his album Dunya, and me and my sister went because we love Mustafa the poet.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up, pops out with Daniel Caesar, and like, because they were like good friends.
Yeah.
And he's on the album as well. And like, Daniel Caesar and him walked by me, and I'm literally close enough to like dap them up, but I was like, nah, they're in their zone. Like, I'm not gonna dap them up. And so I took the pictures, whatever, posted them, tagged him. The next day, me and my sister at the Thames concert. I'm taking pictures there as well. I mean, I'm actually really proud of those pictures as well, because Thames saw it. Thames saw my story when I reposted it. And I was like, okay, like, I'm actually up. Like,
I made it.
Like, actually, like, I made it.
Wow.
I'm at the Thames concert. We're just chilling. I get a notification on my phone. I look at my sister. I'm like, Mustafa the poet liked my post. Mustafa the poet posted you on your story. Like, I was like, damn, like if you think about it, I'm like 3 steps away from Drake. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally like OVO hit me up.
That theory where like you're connected to somebody, and you know what I mean?
Right.
That's
like, everybody's
what it's
connected,
giving.
and you know, me and Drake, OVO soon. You know what I mean?
OVO X Neo
Affluent. That would be
Affluent?
actually so sick. I would love like a Nocta Neo Affluent.
Tap
Nocta
in,
Affluent. Come on now.
Ooh, that would be tough.
You know what I mean?
That would be tough, guys.
Yo, Drake, hit me up. Like,
tap in. Jay, you can watch pod.
Hey.
Okay, I just have 2 more questions about the brand, and then we're gonna move on to
Right.
your project. So, what was some struggles that you experienced during the process, and how did you overcome them, if there were any?
There were definitely struggles. This owning a brand is not a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It feels like nowadays everyone has a brand, but
not everyone knows how to like curate or brand or really like.
And I feel like the motivation why people own the brand in the first place is different. Like, some people do it for the love of fashion. Some people do it for like different reasons. Some people just they see it as a way to make money, which is like, hey, all power to you. Like, start a brand if you want to start a brand. But in terms of me, I think like one of the biggest struggles I had is like heavy imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, because I'm hearing all these great things about like, oh my god, I love Neo. Oh my god, like, people have reached out to me asking me about the thing because they saw me on the street wearing it. I had like a few people even like text the Neo account being like, oh, like, I saw your hoodie, loved the design, wanted to look up like what it meant, started reading the Bible, now I go to church regularly.
Oh, I love that.
That means more to me than any amount of money. I could go broke doing this, God forbid, but I could go broke doing Neo Affluent. But the fact that I brought people to the church actually means the world to me.
That is like above anything. That's very
literally.
Wow.
And so, you know, I'm seeing, you know, all these brands doing well, and then I feel like I'm not doing it as well as them. Like I don't deserve to be
But
in the
your
same
like
space as them.
definition of success, or your like feeling of like I made it, is just different.
It's different for sure.
It shouldn't have to be the same, but
no, you're definitely right. Like I think that's a lesson I've had to learn. But in my early stages, I was like, oh, like no one even knows this brand. Like it's just my friends wearing it. Like who cares? Like no one cares about my stupid designs. Da 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 da. And then I prayed about it. I literally like just I was like, God, like this is how I feel. Like if you don't want the brand to continue, don't let the brand continue. And you know it was a good run. Next day, this is when I was living in Montreal. I'm on Instagram and I see a story by the Concordia Fashion Business Association, the CFBA. I think that's what the name was, if I remember correctly. And they were like, oh, we're doing a pop-up, like let us know if anyone wants to be vendors. And I was like, because in my head vendors means like food, so I'm like, because I'm big, I'm huge, so I was like, you guys talking about clothing brands or you talking about food here? And they're like, nah, like brands.
I'm there for both though.
I'm more for the food, to be honest. But they didn't even have food, they just had free champagne for the vendors. Which is like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so I hit them up and I'm like, okay, like I have a brand, like would you be down to, you know, have me? And they're like, yeah, sure. I did that pop-up, got a bunch of connections.
Period.
Then I got invited to the McGill pop-up.
Oh wow.
Because McGill had like a fashion pop-up thing. They were like invited me there. From there, I got an invite to do another pop-up. Like there's actually no time limit on God's will. You know what I mean? Like God will actually, like if everything like in God's will is supposed to happen when I'm 96, like I'm actually gonna be fine.
And it will.
I'm just
like,
gonna be, you know, a loyal and faithful servant in the meantime.
Exactly. Amen. Amen. I love that. And then the last question is, what can we expect next from your brand? I know you said you're gonna have a drop soon, but if you want to give us a little more details, you can. But it's up to you.
It's gonna be. I'm not gonna reveal too much yet.
Yeah.
I'm still like figuring stuff out. I want to make sure that the people who've been rocking with Neo for a minute are satisfied. The people who are new to Neo, they also enjoy it. But it's definitely something that like people have been asking me. Faith, you know, my friend Faith.
Shout out Faith.
Faith Akiki, bro. Like you can get off my back now, okay? Like I'm doing it. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm finally doing the design. Like it's okay. But you know, it's gonna be you know, by the grace of God, it'll be good.
Period.
It'll be good.
Amen. Okay, then we're gonna get into a little creative project discussions, and then we're gonna play a little game, and then we're good.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah. So if you had to describe your creative style in 3 words, what words would you use?
Creative style in 3 words.
3 words that sums up Photography or Josh Koshy as a creative.
Are we talking about like photography?
You can do it however you want. You can do photography as a whole, or you can do your personal brand as a whole, or Neofluent as a whole. Like,
I feel like I've talked about Neo a lot. Maybe I'll talk about Photography.
Hey.
3 words I'd like kind of like talk about my style. I'd say like that was the question, right?
Yeah. 3 words to describe your creative style.
I think warm. I'll explain why. Warm, saturated, and lighting.
No, you gotta explain those ones still.
Yeah, it's kind of random. But yeah, my photography, like, oh damn, I should choose a different word. I just thought of a different. Okay, I'm gonna do film, saturated, lighting. That's my thing.
Okay, yeah.
Me, I love film. I love how film looks. I have a digital camera now that has like inbuilt film emulation. So it's a digital camera.
Hello?
Like I can load it on an SD card, but it looks like film. Best purchase I've ever made in my life. Actually, like shout out mom and dad for getting me that for Christmas, because the amount of business I got from this camera. Thank God.
Wow. Need that, guys.
Yeah,
I
literally.
Gotta have that.
But yeah, like I really love how film looks. It like is so nostalgic. It like, because me, the way I talk about my pictures, I love candid photography. Like I love doing a shoot too, but I love getting like small moments in between.
Yeah, same.
Eventually, when it comes like, especially when it comes to like events and stuff, I love getting like, you know, even if it's embarrassing for the people
like
involved.
Just it's on the details, you know.
Yeah, like I just love catching like it's like even though the picture is like stable and it's like solid and it's not moving,
still,
you can see, like, you can feel the movement in the picture. You know what I mean?
Like you're bringing it to life.
Exactly. Like, I don't like. I love the fact that your very embarrassing like face when you're laughing is showing, because it just captures that moment.
Yeah,
of, like,
it's just so real and authentic and genuine, which is exactly what film should be.
Exactly. Like it reminds me of like when I would go to like my grandparents' house and I'd look at like all the old pictures.
Yeah, like the VHS
of like my
tapes
parents
and the little photo books, and you see like the real life experiences and the moments that they made in real
exactly
life.
Like my goal with photography is low-key just to like make pictures that give people the same vibe I would get when I would look at those old photo books.
I like that.
And so that's film. I'd say it's saturated, because one thing I hate like dull colors. Like I wanted like to like not to the point where it's like oversaturated, but like I wanted you like to be visually appealing. I want you to be drawn to the picture. And even in my videography as well, like I love, you know, a decent amount of saturation. You know, I think the only exception to that is like black and white.
I can't lie. Should I be turning my saturation up to a little bit, y'all?
Right. Like these are very saturated couches. You know what I mean?
Vibrance, all of it, like, guys. Turn it up.
Right. And so I say that wearing the most monochromatic fit. I'm talking about how much I love saturation and color.
But it's okay, because like when they go to your page, they'll see, like, you know, they'll see.
Exactly.
It's okay.
What was the third one? Lighting is so important. Like actually, like it's
crucial,
super duper important.
Crucial.
But some of my best pictures have like just like random lighting effects that like just make it look, just elevate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think those three capture like my photography style.
I like that. Okay, who are some of your creative inspirations, and where do you think that your style came from? Do you think it came from your inspirations, or do you think it came from, like, you know, etc.? You tell us where it came from.
When it comes to like personal style, I think
yeah, actually let me divide this in two. We're gonna talk about your personal style, like in terms of like fits and clothing, where you got that inspiration from and how you define that, and then we're gonna talk about your photography, videography style, your inspirations, and where that style came from.
For sure. I think photography, some of my biggest inspirations are my friends. Like they are such good photographers. Like I said already, Kasai's Flash Party, like
shout out.
That's like actually like my brother. Like whole time that's my brother. Like he's the one who like kind of like got me onto photography. Like I've always, like, my sisters were also really big into photography, but in terms of like picking up a camera,
all do photography.
Oh, like no, my old, like, actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, we all are.
Wow.
My oldest sister was the one who got us all started.
It must be.
Then
like,
it was me.
Family
like,
painting galore in your house.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like, okay, first of all, it was my older sister who started with photography. Then it was me. I'm setting the record straight. And then it was me, and then it was my middle sister.
Fuck it.
She got it from me.
You heard it here first.
But you know, I'll give her her flowers when I come to the personal style section. But yeah, I think like some of my biggest inspirations were like my people around me in terms of like all the photographers I know, Malik, Hope, Owen, all you guys, like,
shout out.
And those guys are younger than me. Like the fact that like actually I wanted to be you when I was younger in the whole time. You know what I mean? But like those guys are super sick. Like their style is so good. Like my contemporaries, Kasai, Amelia, all these guys are really good as well. And then like obviously there are like celebrity photographers as well, like Gunnar Stahl, Gabriel Moses, all these guys. Like, I'm just trying to get like you for real. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a vision there.
But yeah, I think those are like in terms of photography and videography, like those guys, and like obviously like movie directors and stuff. But I don't know if I want to get into movies.
Yeah,
like, that's such a pain.
That's another podcast.
That's another podcast. Like
we'll talk about film next time. Yeah. Okay, and then as for your personal style, like clothing and your fashion, where do you think you got that from?
I definitely got that from my sisters, and yeah,
shout out 100%. I would say me too, honestly. Like, yeah, I don't want to say this on camera, but yeah, I did get myself from you guys a little bit. Thanks.
Like I won't say it to your face.
Like I won't. Actually,
I will never say it to your face.
You're just gonna have to watch me say it at the screen.
You're not gonna hear me say this on the WhatsApp group chat, but you will hear me saying it on a podcast. Like I 100% dedicate all of my style.
Because you know, guys, maybe it's AI. Maybe I didn't even say it, but you won't hear me say it in real life.
Right.
So.
But yeah, oh my bad.
At least it was said. Exactly.
Right.
At least it was heard. Okay.
But yeah, basically like they have been Mrs. Put It On like their entire lives.
Clock it.
I think there was I only really started getting into fashion when they would talk to me about it. Like I used to like draw outfits for them because they would like, because they would always be like, oh, do you like this, do you like that, do you like this? And I think a lot of brothers would be like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then I started getting into it and I was like, yeah, like actually nah, you should wear that, you should wear this.
Yeah.
So like now, like I think I gained a lot of my, like the foundation of my style came from them. And then as I grew older and like kind of like started exploring fashion on my own, I kind of like made my own style to it, to the point where I'm styling them now.
Period.
You know, if you want to, hey, I'm also a stylist, guys. Like if you want a stylist,
tap in.
Like I'll actually style you.
A photographer, stylist, everything, and more.
Like if it's creative, I probably do it.
Exactly. Not probably. He does.
Right.
He has. He will. And he does.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, I have two if you could questions. So
Okay.
if you could shoot anywhere in the world with unlimited resources, what's your dream location and what's your dream concept? What are you making?
That's a big
no
question.
limits. Just your
no limits.
yes,
Nothing.
Your dream project, and you can have anyone star in it depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Honestly, my favorite kind of photography and like, because the first thing that came to mind was doing a video for this. Because if I'm going like all the way across the world, I want to catch like video.
Yeah.
I would love just like a camcorder, you know, but like a nice camcorder.
Yeah.
Like I have one, but like low-key is malfunctioning. Like RIP that camcorder, bro. Like,
what's going on this week with everyone's technical difficulties? Like I've heard so many like stories and just dealt with so many cameras this week that are just not dysfunctioning, guys. Like,
I just blame global warming, to be honest. Like it's, you know, those rising water levels, they're messing up my camcorder.
I'm crying, guys.
Yeah. I would take like a functioning camcorder, take like a film camera, take like 100 rolls of film, and like go to Japan with my boys.
Real.
Japan is like, oh my god.
Japan.
I want to go to
guys.
Japan this year. I think I might be going with Nue. God willing.
Me, I'm ready for all the content, okay?
Yeah, like
trust
those fit pics. Like
crazy.
Actually like clear the area. You know what I mean?
Clear, guys. Clear.
Exactly.
Okay, and then if you could direct a video or do a shoot for any artist or any brand, who would it be and what kind of vibe are you going for? And why?
Like a celebrity.
Okay, we'll do artist
right.
and like director or like just someone creative but like established.
Right.
I don't like the word famous, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I really don't like that word.
I would do
like alongside them.
In terms of creative, I would do either Steve Lacy or Frank Ocean. I feel like those guys have like a really interesting like creative vibe to them. And you don't see a lot of them. I mean, Steve Lacy like is back on Instagram now, but he kind of just shit posts. Like he's just posting random stuff. I think for like a director or something that I'd love to work with, Dev Patel.
Tell that name. I know that name.
He was in Life of Pi, Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay, Slumdog.
He was the actor, but he also starred and directed Monkey Man.
Laptop right here. Yes. I know. Yes,
yeah,
I know you're talking about. I love him.
Movie. I love that movie.
I haven't
and
watched
I love him.
it yet. Oh my gosh.
I feel like he's like very like when he started blowing up on TikTok and people started making edits of him. I was like, damn, Brown Boys, we made it. Like, you know,
yes, okay,
we're slowly making a resurgence. You know,
like the right person. Yeah.
But I'd love to work with him. He seems super sick.
I like
and super
that.
Just nice.
I feel like you guys would create something so like, I don't even know, just something so extraordinary that like all eyes are on it. Like
right.
It's not even something you can look at passively. Like you're gonna come back to that.
I would like, yeah, I'd love to like work with him. We just do like a movie and back home or something. Like
I like
back
that.
in India. That would be sick.
Period. Okay, thinking about your early projects and looking back at those, what is some advice that you would give to yourself based off what you know now? In terms of your creative journey, photography, etc., style, fashion, anything.
Don't try too hard to replicate someone else's style. Like, lean into what you like. You know what I mean? I think a lot of my early pictures, I was trying to recreate other photographers' work. Like, when it comes to, like, my own brand or, you know, just, like, stuff I'd seen. Like, I like Pinterest. It's definitely a good place for inspiration. But don't do a word like bar for bar copy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? like I think lean into the fact that you have your own individual style that no one else has seen before, and tap into that, because that's what's gonna make you stand out more than you just being, Cortez photo shoot copy number 57,000.
Exactly.
You know,
I like that.
like if you have a creative idea, like go for it. Just because it's kind of like out there, doesn't make it a bad idea.
The point, y'all. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to your friend, talk to somebody beside you, and you're gonna build on that, and you're gonna create something beautiful that you never knew you could even do in the beginning. Thank you so much for spending time with Maya's Communication Center. I had a blast, and I'm so grateful that we got to have this very insightful and inspirational conversation. If you have any final closing thoughts, and if there's any advice you want to give to any creators who are inspired by your journey, or if there's any style advice, anything final you want to tell the people, this is your chance. And where we can find you, any contact information lastly, and then
first of all, thank you for having me on the show.
Anytime.
This is a very cool experience.
I'm so glad you said yes. Like, I don't think you understand. I was so scared. Like, the pressure.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, like, let the audience know how this happened. I was literally I don't even know what the office is called.
Oh my god!
I forgot what the office is even called. But I was literally the wellness center, right? Is that what it's called? Right? Yeah, right. So I'm sitting there, I'm cutting up some paper because I serve at the media team at CRCU, cutting up some paper. Maya comes up to me, she's like, "Are you Josh?" And I'm like, I don't know if I should be scared for my life. I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, like, "Oh, do you want to be on my podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, okay, perfect. Turns around, just continues the conversation with someone else, and I was like, "Okay, like you literally just got what you wanted out of the conversation. You got me to say yes," and then he went back. But it was actually funniest thing that happened to me that day. I was like, "Wow, this is something."
That is so funny. Like, hearing from your perspective is so funny, because that day was just running through my head for the longest time, and I'm like, he probably thought I was like so like just happy. Guys, no, like seriously, to paint a picture of you, he's literally sitting there in his own world doing his thing.
Oh, I had music in as well.
Oh,
so I had music in. I'm literally just zoned in because I had to cut 100 pieces of paper
candygrams,
for
y'all,
church,
like,
for candygram church, like church candygram.
Oh my gosh! And then I just go, "Hey, I'm Maya. You're Josh, right? I have a podcast. What are we on it? Yeah." And then I just turn around because I couldn't, I just my anxiety was just on the roof. And I'm like, I wanted to introduce myself to you in person,
right,
because I knew I wanted you on this pod. Like, I've seen your stuff, but I knew I wanted to have the conversation with you. I just didn't know. And honestly, I didn't even know you were gonna be in there. I'm like, wait, that's Josh. Okay, it's perfect time. And then I just ran for it. But guys, it's okay. Just do it. And now we have a podcast.
Honestly, that's my advice. Actually, put yourself out there, even if it feels like you're embarrassing yourself. And then so many times I've just reached out to people, and like even the fact that I tagged Mustafa the poet, I could have just posted those pictures, no tag, no nothing.
Exactly.
I actually DM'd him the pictures too. If I didn't DM him the pictures, do you think he would have reposted it? Do you think Drake would have seen my stuff? I don't even know if Drake's seen my stuff. He probably saw my stuff. So literally, just put yourself out there. If you have a vision, if you like what you're creating, if you feel like it looks good, put yourself out there. Put yourself in positions for success.
I like that. That's perfect closing words, and I can't wait to see you guys in episode 3. Thank you again for coming on the pod, and
thanks for having me.
Bye.